Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 63-year-old female. Now, first thing I suggest is just going directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. And on just about every page, we have these quoters. And all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, and then put your birthday in there and all the other info. Click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies with all the exact rates on it. And what that will do will help you with two things. That'll help you avoid those plans that you see advertised on TV and in magazines and junk mail that offer a really ridiculously low rate. And then when you get them on the phone, they're going to try to upsell you. And it will also help you avoid the plans that have 2-year waiting periods that can be 200% more expensive than first day coverage plans. Keep in mind, you can always call us at our toll-free number 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you out as well. Now, the first thing you should probably ask yourself if you're a 63-year-old female looking for $25,000 worth of insurance is that going to be an adequate amount of insurance for your final expense needs? Now, typically, final expense is going to be either cremation or a burial. So let's talk about those. So the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just get cremated and come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of a ceremony along with your cremation, it's probably going to cost somewhere between $3,500 to $4,500. So coverage-wise, for that cremation where you're going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would probably recommend right around $5,000 to $7,000. Now, you might be saying, well, hold on there, Randy. If it's only going to cost $2,000 for the cremation, why are we getting $5,000? Well, you're 63 years old. Let's talk about that. Hopefully you want to make it to 73, maybe even 83. And we know prices are going to go up over time due to inflation. So therefore, we like to build in a little extra coverage so that you don't have to worry about this in the future. You can lock in your rates at your youngest age right now. But, we don't want so much insurance that you're just wildly overinsured either. So what that will do is it will, by getting $5,000 to $7,000, it will inflation-proof your plan for years and years and years to come. But also, if something, God forbid, were to happen sooner, there's a little bit extra money left over on the front end, just in case there's any other final expenses or, medical bills or anything like that that needed to be paid. So if you're looking for a cremation policy where you're going to have the ceremony, the remembrance of life ceremony, some sort of thing going on there, we would typically recommend between $7,000 to $10,000. Again, the higher amount because we're wanting to inflation-proof the plan. And then also, God forbid, something happened a little sooner, there's just a little bit extra funds there to help out the family. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. If you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they will get things done for you. Now, it's probably not going to be anything fancy, but it's hard to imagine that they would say no to you and your $10,000 check and let you just walk on down the road to one of their competitors and have them take the money. Just understand, it's not going to be very fancy. That's kind of just the base cost for what things are today. We really wouldn't recommend, as a rule, just $10,000 on that unless there's a real financial thing going on. And most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income, so that's not uncommon. But most often we would be helping people with $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000. Not too often do we go up to $25,000 just because it's, we just don't want you to overinsure. And keep in mind that if your budget's tight, you can always start at that $10,000, and then we can always follow up in a year or two or however long is best for you. And we can look at adding another $5,000 or $10,000 or $7,000, whatever would be appropriate for you. The nice thing about doing that is you get $10,000 right away. It takes care of the most immediate need. So it's a pretty good way of doing it. So one thing we don't recommend is like going crazy with the coverage, like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, because a lot of times, people would say, hey, I just want to leave some money behind for my kids. And the fact is as we get older, getting more and more and more insurance gets more expensive. So sometimes people hear that price for $50,000 and they go, oh, that's too expensive. I'm not going to do anything at all then. And now all they're doing is condemning their family members to having to pay this out of pocket. And most often what ends up happening is they put it on credit cards at 26% interest rate. So just don't be so kind of, I don't know, stubborn, perhaps, maybe that's the right word, that you feel it's got to be all your way or no way. So that's why we typically recommend, that keeping this insurance for final expense. And then if you wanted to get a policy that would go to the kids, just do that after the fact. Do that on a separate policy. And that works really, really terrific for a lot of people. Now, one thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those 2-year waiting period plans at all. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, first day coverage means that if your policy were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever it was. They'd have to write that check and your beneficiaries would get paid. That's the best coverage. It's going to have the lowest pricing as well. Now, some people would say, Randy, I do want that first day coverage, but I am not in the best of health. And I know those policies ask health questions, and I'm worried I might not qualify. And to that we say, hey, your health is our concern, not your concern, at least when it comes to this insurance. And the reason we say that is we work with numerous different companies. They all ask different health questions, and they all have different underwriting requirements. So really right now, 90 to 95% of the time, we're able to get people first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to get that for you is if you had some really significant health issues going on. Like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If one of those were kind of the case, we would typically just refer you out to a different insurance company. What also seems to happen on a weekly basis is somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have any insurance and we don't have any money. Now their body's down at the funeral home and the funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get paid to pay and then we can then pay the funeral home guy. And we have to let them know that there is no insurance company in the United States that is going to offer a policy on a dead person. As sad as that is, yeah, you got to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's so hard and difficult when somebody you loves, doesn't prepare for this. And, they knew they were going to die. They just didn't know when. They probably thought about getting this insurance. They just never did it. And now that falls in the family to pay. And typically how they're going to pay is put that on credit cards at 26% interest. And it's really a challenge. And, you could have done everything else right in your life, and then you kind of don't do this one thing. And it really has an impact on your legacy and how people think about you. So, protect your legacy, protect your family. This insurance is affordable. If you need to start out slower and smaller, we can certainly help you out with it and add more coverage later. But yeah, just don't be that person that leaves this behind for your family to pay. So one thing we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn is a fairly well-known insurance company. I think it's just because they advertise a lot on TV, right? It seems like their $9.95 commercials are on the TV every 7 minutes or something. At least it seems that way. But if you didn't know this, that $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, you probably didn't know that, right? So they're not the only ones that offer those 2-year waiting period plans. There's other companies like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, gosh, just a host of other different insurance companies. And some of these companies have done an amazing job at convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you will qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, do not fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 63-year-old female is probably just finished up watching one of those $9.95 commercials, and she's probably thinking she's going to get a smoking deal for $9.95. She's probably thinking, you know what? I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I bet I can even get $50,000 worth of insurance for $9.95. And then she talks with a Colonial agent or Colonial Penn agent, or goes on their website like we've done here, and sees that a 63-year-old getting 1 unit of coverage is going to be $9.95, and it's only going to buy $1,370 worth of insurance. Now, $1,370 might pay for a cremation in some parts of the country, probably won't in a lot of parts of the country, but in those parts of the country where it wouldn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out any insurance benefit for any health or medical related cause of death. So why would you start with a plan that is, just not really ideal and certainly not enough money? There's some people out there that would say, some of these companies offer these low teaser rates like $9.95, a low teaser rate just to get you to call in so they have your info and then they call you. And once they get you on the phone, they show you how minuscule the coverage is for $9.95. And you agree it's minuscule. And then they proceed to upsell you into a more expensive plan that's more profitable for them. And we would never say that Colonial Penn does that, but some people might say that. And I guess you might have to draw your own conclusion based on the fact that $9.95 only pays out $1,370. So just keep that in mind. But let's do this. Let's go see what $25,000 is going to cost in first day coverage. But before we do that, let's max out Colonial Penn here. They only go up to 15 units. They're going to max out at 15 units, and it is not going to be $25,000, but we're just going to compare what it is, and we'll let the chips fall where they may. Yeah, so you're going to max out at $20,550, and that's going to be $150. So let's go and check our first day coverage over here. And we've got $25,000 for a female age 63 right here. And then we're going to click get quotes. And remember, this is $20,000 for $150. I want to go up and show you this. Okay. Again, this is $25,000. And you can get that for just say $88, $89, $90. Let's say $90. That's easy math or easy number there to remember. Actually, out of these three companies, this would be the company we'd recommend. And we can explain that why later. But there's a lot of companies out there that the underwriting is more difficult and they just don't approve as many people. And some of these companies might take, weeks or a month or so to even get approved just to how they run internally. And then there's some companies that, may take 3 to 5 days to get an approval, and their underwriting, again, is more stringent. And then there's other companies that are right in there price-wise that you can get a policy approved the same day over the phone, and it's level first day coverage, and you're just going to have really superior customer service too. So it just all depends on your situation and your age and your gender and what company might be best for you. Let's just play with $90 because that's an easy round number for me to work with. So would you rather pay $90 for $25,000, or would you rather pay $150 for $20,000? I know that's kind of silly. Of course, that is a $60 difference. $60. So you're paying $60 less, and you're getting $5,000 more coverage by going with a plan like this, first day coverage. So it's that $60 a month times 12 months that you'd be overpaying $720 a year with Colonial Penn. If our 63-year-old female makes it to 73, she will have overpaid. That would be right around $7,200, roundabout. So why would you ever get a plan where you're going to overpay around $7,200 and have to suffer with a 2-year waiting period, and you'll continue to overpay on that for the rest of your life? Why would you do that when you can get better coverage at a better price This is level first day coverage. So yeah, the most important message here is just be a smart consumer. If you don't know how to be smart in this, just let us know. We'll help you be smart. But let's go take a look at a few other companies here. Let's see. You'll be able to see all these different companies here, but let's find another one. Oh, here we go. Like Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, except, yikes, look at that pricing. Basically $130. And this is level first day coverage. That's good. They've got the coverage good, but the pricing is wowzers, right? So Lincoln Heritage has a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and like get the lowest pricing and maybe do a couple other things. But they don't, it's not free. They charge for that. It's more expensive. And if you look, this is $130 compared to $90. So it's a $40 difference. So if you take $40 a month times 12 months, you're overpaying $480 a year, roughly. And after 10 years, when our 63-year-old female gets up to 73, you have overpaid roughly $4,800. And you will continue to overpay on that policy for the rest of your life. So you got to ask yourself, when you pass away, if it was after 10 years, is it worth paying an insurance company an extra $4,800 approximately to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things that might only take an hour or so to do? You know, a lot of people would say that's a pretty darn good payday and a pretty darn good hourly rate for an insurance company. We would tend to agree. We don't recommend overpaying at all. So how we handle that is we offer a free funeral and estate planning guide that you can download off our website, print it out, and then once you've got it printed out, all you do is you just fill it out. You fill out who gets what goes where, and what you want to happen after you're gone. And then you keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you do pass away, your family goes to that one place where you keep your documents, and they will have everything they need to take care of your final wishes. You will have provided the money to take care of everything that you want done, and you will have provided the instructions on the funeral and estate planning guide so that they don't have to worry about what to do. All they will do is read through it and then just execute your wishes, knowing that they will have done everything exactly as you wanted it done and provided the funds to do that. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. They will know that you not only love them in life, but actually love them enough to protect them in death after you are gone. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. And I know you'll be missed, but you will have taken care of your family. So go to our website at funeralfunds.com. We've actually got a quarter specifically for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get the most discounts and the lowest rates. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. And one of our agents can help you out. Just ask any questions. We're happy to help in any way. But yeah, we can't wait until the day that we get to help you out with this. Now, keep in mind, if you've got an existing policy and you want us to price shop it to make sure you got the best deal, or you want to find out about adding coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for brand new coverage or you just have some questions, we can certainly help you out with that too. But regardless, we look forward to that day when we can get you the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.